It is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. I had to read that twice. I'm going to read it with you guys one more time. It is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. Now, if you think about this, camel, 6 foot at the shoulders, 7 foot at the hump, can store up to 20 gallons of water. The eye of a needle, the widest one I found, is 0.43 millimeters. What is Jesus saying here? Jesus here brings one serious hyperbole example, a figure of speech. He's illustrating how impossible it is for us, by ourselves, to enter the kingdom of God, that if possible, a camel could go through the eye of a needle. Could he really? No, that's the whole point. See, I feel like Jesus wants us to look out for potential problems that may come up if we create wealth as our focus, riches as our focus. He gives us warnings throughout the Bible. In Matthew chapter 6, verses 19 and 21, he says, "Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust can destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where moth and rust do not destroy, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." I think we can say, for where your wealth and treasure is, there your heart will be also. This young man's heart was not where it was supposed to be. His heart, his attention, his focus was wrapped around something totally different. When I was reading over this verse, I came across this interesting illustration I want to share with you. It's called, "What Money Will Not Buy." Money will buy a bed, but not sleep. Books, but not brains. Food, but not appetite. A house, but not a home. Medicine, but not health. Luxuries, but not culture. Amusements, but not happiness. Religion, but not salvation. A passport to everywhere, but heaven. See, our wealth may provide us with that comfort, that satisfaction, meet those desires, but once it becomes our focus, that's where we have problems, as Jesus is pointing out. That's where we don't have that true fellowship. Our goals, our priorities are not where it's supposed to be. So we all have jobs, most of us, many of us, right? We have a status in society. We know and we follow the commandments, but can we say we have this problem? Do we have wealth that has become our focus, our priority? And do we trust in that wealth that it will get us from point A to point B, closer with God, in fellowship with God, and eventually into his kingdom? Jesus gives us a key on how someone can enter the kingdom of God. It's not by our strengths. It's not by who we are, what we have, or how much of it. It's impossible for us alone to enter the kingdom of God. Wealth, riches of this world will become problematic for us when we have our focus on it, when they are ahead in front of Jesus, and when we trust only in them. Just as Jesus looked at this man and loved him, he looks at each and every one of us and loves us for who we are. He sees past our mistakes, our mishaps, where our heart is. He has blessed us with many things. We have family, friends, a job, a husband, a wife, a kids, and etc. He teaches us to look out for potential problems that may arise. And what he has taught us today is that sometimes when wealth has become our focus, our to-go-to for every single thing, and we place our trust in it, that will create problems for us in the long run. I asked myself this question at the end, and I want to ask you guys, what do you have in your life that if it was you standing in that man's place, and you asked Jesus that question, and he responded to you, what would be the first thought you would have had in your mind? What would you hesitate to give up on?